Hi, my name is Dr. Evelyn. I'm a Jawad teacher and also a tutor on the accredited Jawad belly dance training courses. In this video, I want to go over some of the technique for a basic Hagalla or Egyptian walk. Before we get started, I will, as always, just check the posture, and so should you. So we start out always aligning our ankles, knees and hips so that we're in a nice straight line, or the joints are pointing forwards, and we're allowing the tailbone to melt down 30% or so, making sure to engage your pelvic floor as well as lower abs and your core in general, just lifting you up, getting yourself ready to dance. Your basic Hagalla or Egyptian walk is 3 moves over 4 beats. And when it's done, it looks like this. But there's also variations of this which I cover in the more advanced video on Hagalla technique. What can be a great help when you're just starting out on this, if you're not already familiar with the move, is to actually find your hip bones. That's those little bony bits in here, and yes, everyone has got them. So find your hip bones, really useful when learning new moves, because it will also let you know if you have actually lost the engagement and you're allowing your back to arch out. So you can tell by where your little bony bits here are pointing. They should be pointing up into your rib cage. So the first step of the Hagalla is the most important one. It's stepping down onto a bent knee and allowing some of your weight to shift down to it. So down. That means that that hip already goes down compared to the other one because the leg straightens. Think of it as a bit as walking upstairs, but without actually doing it. Down. The next move is shifting our weight fully. So at the moment, I've got my weight on both feet. I need to shift my weight off the foot behind so that I can lift it, which is the third move. So now I've got all my weight over here and I can comfortably lift this leg, but I do it really from the hip. So I'm allowing the hip bone to lift. Then I can repeat the move on the left. So I step down on the bent knee, allowing the hip bone to melt down into the floor. Shifting my weight over is the second move, and then lifting the other leg is the third one. Down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift. And all the time on these, trying to make sure that you're not allowing your bum to arch out, no duck butts. If that happens, you can still do it, but you might feel a strain up here, and definitely it won't look or feel the same. We can do this move just on the spot. Now, I started by saying it's 3 moves over 4 beats, and it's because there's a pause in there. The first step is the most important one. It goes 1, hold for 2, 3 is the shift, 4 is the lift. 1, and pause on 2, shift on 3, lift on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You might want to start out really nice and slow on this because you need to get this into your muscle memory. Otherwise, it will end up kind of just being a walk with a wobble. But there needs to be these 3 very defined moves in there in order to get the rhythm of your Hagalla. The first step is the most important in this version of it, so it's your anchoring step. Eventually, the shift and the lift melt into one. So as we speed it up, it goes down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift. And it feels more like a wobble in the bum. That's exactly what you need, because this is a very African step, and it needs to have that heaviness, but also that nice swing in the hips. From the back. Down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift. Double time. If we slow it down again, we can walk with it. Forwards. We could walk on a diagonal. We can walk backwards. But when you walk backwards, you have to make sure that your steps are really tiny. On the other diagonal. And again, walking backwards. So I never take a step that's any bigger than my foot length. Most of the time, it's half a foot length. The upper body doesn't do much for now. We can just have the arms here framing. So once you are comfortable, you know the move, you can let go of your hip bones. You can have your framing arms here. We can have the framing arms here. And then, once we can comfortably walk without having to think too much about it, we can start having other arms on there. We could say down, so where the foot goes down, the arms out, shift, lift, and then as we change over, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift. As a little salute. Or if we're doing the Hagalla really fast, we might just want to keep the hands and change them at our leisure. Let's try that with a bit of music. So check your posture first of all. Gauge, lift up. I'll show this from the back because it might be easier to follow. So if you want to, you put your hands on your hip bones first, and we're going to do them nice and slow. Down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift. Get slightly faster. Down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift. We can try just with having framing arms. Keep breathing, keep it strong. Framing the hips. Or changing the arms as we're stepping. Down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift. Or keeping the arms even though we're stepping. Now we can step forwards. We can step backwards. And as we step on the spot, we change our arms. And we can go forwards again. Going backwards. Or taking it around yourself. So as if you're walking around a pillar. You want to walk on a right diagonal. And backwards. Getting ready to walk on the left diagonal. And we're going to walk backwards. And then we can try to do a double time on the spot. There we go. So you can walk it any way you want, but start out nice and slow, really get the movement into your body so you don't lose that lovely sharpness of the hips as you speed it up. Otherwise, it'll just look like you're walking with a bit of a wobble in your bum. We want that nice swing. Thank you very much for watching, and happy drilling your Hagallas.